Hello gamers, welcome back to Surviving Fallout 4. Today I bring you the second part of this legendary farming run that I'm doing by Egret towards Marina. In the previous video, part 1, we explored the west side of this run and we visited a couple of nice repeatable spawn points that have a pretty good loot. We also visited the two spawn points that are by the bridge that's behind me, but those for some reason get deactivated, and I think it has something to do with your accomplishments in your playthrough, like the places that you have visited or discovered, or maybe some missions that you have already accomplished. I still haven't been able to figure the mechanics of it. If any of you know why these get deactivated, please leave a comment below, because I for sure would like to know. Now we're going to venture into the east, and we're heading in that direction, and that right there is a super mutant territory. But don't worry, it's not as scary as it sounds. It is much, much worse. Just kidding. Only half kidding. Alright, let's do it. We're going to approach the super mutant camp very carefully because they're very scary creatures. And you will find 3 suiciders walking around the plaza, plus 3 more level super mutants. You can find them all the way from basic super mutants to skirmishers, masters, enforcers, depending on your level. And so we're gonna take, a couple of shots from here and... Wait a minute, why are they attacking me? I thought I was hidden. Was I not? Oh, you know what? I know. I think there's a trader that walks around here in this area, and I think it is Cricket. She was probably behind me. Where are you, Cricket? I don't know. Anyways, the suiciders don't pose that big a threat if you have enough action points and decent perception, because then you can just aim for the arm that's wielding the mini nuke, and the explosion will actually help you take care of the other super mutant. Alright, let's move on to the skirmisher. Take care of this. Ah, ha, ha. See, there you are, Cricket. I knew I wasn't crazy. Okay, we're going to take care of this skirmisher so that it doesn't mess with us going into the first repeatable spawn point, which is that building directly in front of us. And this is, I don't know what it is, a diner or a gas station, whatever it is. This is a battlefield for 2 different factions. At the moment we see some mongrels, because I'm pretty sure they already killed some scavengers over there. But here you're going to find different factions fighting each other. The Brotherhood of Steel versus the Super Mutants, or the Gunners versus the Children of Atom. All kinds of factions. Now, very important, if you want to take full advantage of this Super Mutants, make sure you drop a safe before you approach this cell for the first time in your playthrough. If you do that, then you have a chance of every time you reload, you get some legendaries, like I have here. Sometimes the super mutant by the plaza, by the fountain, can be a legendary, or this one outside the Witch's Skill, and okay, how about that? Apparently, 2 out of 3 is possible, and heck, who knows, maybe even all 3 of the super mutants can be legendary. It hasn't happened to me before, but that doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Now, the best way that I have found to deal with this last super mutant inside the station is to just go back to hidden, let him go back to that little office in the back, especially if he goes all the way to the left, because then he won't have anywhere else to go when you throw grenades to him. When you throw on the grenades, it's very unlikely that he's going to come guns blazing after you. He's going to attempt to take cover and you can just take him down. Now, you may have noticed that most of these super mutants, they don't carry a lot of weapons, legendary weapons. They carry more gear, which is going to be important for the next video that I'm working on. Very well. Let's continue on to the next spawn points, but actually first let me show you something quickly here. I noticed this. There's an entrance to Vault 88 here. I thought Vault 88 was all the way over to University Point, which is quite a long hike. There it is. Now we're going to continue east on this run. And by the way, as you walk along this street, make sure you check out all of these containers, because every time you reload the cell, there will be new inventory in them. Now the second to last spawn point is right behind this last house on the left, right behind it. And you'll notice, because you see the brackets, they're pretty steady, but as soon as we walk in front of the house, boom. Did you see that? That's a bunch of enemies just appearing right behind the house, and which are a bunch of swarm bots. Now the last spawn point of this run is right by that gas station over there. That's a bunch of rust devils. And we're gonna get out of the way and let them clash. Let them run into each other, and then you can just pick off any survivors left. Now, a little caveat. These two spawn points, especially the one behind the house, same as the ones by the overpass next to the settlement, for some reason they get deactivated. And same as those before, I haven't been able to figure the mechanics behind it. So if anybody knows what exactly does this, be sure to leave a comment in the section below, because I really want to know. Now, we're not done. We're not done with the spawn points and everything that you can get out of this run. We're gonna head back to the west, because once we complete the quest reunions, out of Fort Hagen, and you got these guys out loose in the Commonwealth, then there are a few things that will change in your gameplay, and especially at this run. Not only will the Brotherhood of Steel be present in all of this, not all the time, but in all of the spawn points, will be present in the battlefield, but also a few changes appear. First, as you approach the Super Mutant camp that is just south of the broadcast radio station, right by that bend, you will see a pack of raiders that now will be spawning, and this is a repeatable spawn point. And it's always 5, and there's a good chance one of them will be a legendary. See, but not only that. Also, if you look over to the east, there will always be a vertebrate coming over to engage with those raiders, basically making your existence a lot easier. So you want to keep your distance and just enjoy the fight. Also, be sure that you pick off any raiders you can while they're busy fighting the vertebrate, because you don't want their full attention on you. They will kill you. And also because, well, when there's a legendary involved, you see that vertebrate is about to be knocked out of the sky. So when there's a legendary involved, more often than not, the vertebrate will lose. Alright, now these raiders will appear every time you leave the cell, come back and reload it. Well, not every time, actually. It's every other time, meaning that it takes 2 reloads of the cell to get a fresh batch of raiders. And you don't have to go all the way to Jamaica Plain to reload the cell. You can just flagpole around the yellow car that's past the overpass after the settlement that's on the other side of the river. Then you can just come back, and that would effectively reload the cell. Also, keep an eye on the legendary, because trust me, you don't want to be running around the field looking for your loot. Now, that's not all that the Brotherhood of Steel can help you with. Now that they're on the scene, they'll engage the super mutants at this camp. And these super mutants can be used for legendary farming, same as the ones by Fallon's department store on the other side of the run. You just gotta make sure that you drop a safe before you even come in close to loading either one of the cells, because then the legendary item will be locked in place, and then you're pretty much done with that. Now, once you finish this fight with the help of the Brotherhood of Steel, then you need to go into the very back room of this camp. Go upstairs on the south end, and you'll find a whiskey bottle, an expert lock safe, and a steamer trunk. And this is what I meant in the previous video about farming for other than legendary. Because every time you leave and come back, you're gonna find a brand new whiskey bottle and new inventory in both the safe and the steamer trunk. So you'll be able to amass large amounts of caps, ammo, and a bunch of armor and weapon items. There's also an armor workbench on the north side of this room, so you'll be able to upgrade your armor if you find good mods on the pieces that you will collect along the way. There's also a weapons workbench in this little room to the left, so if you find any good mods on the weapons that you're going to find in the containers, you can also remove them from them and slap them on the weapons that you're carrying. So that's pretty convenient. Also, you can just break down the weapons that you find and bring all the materials to the 2 settlements that are close by. Egret towards Marina, and to the south there's I think it is Somerville Place. Yeah, it is Somerville Place. Also, now that the Brotherhood of Steel is on the scene, they will be engaging the enemies, and the good thing is that sometimes one of them is going to be legendary. You see? There he is. Actually, they jump out of the vertebrate, and okay, they actually jump right in the nick of time. Now, when these two clash, there can be a legendary super mutant and a legendary Brotherhood of Steel. If the super mutant wins, then you can just kill him afterwards and do your looting. But if the Brotherhood of Steel is the one that wins, you can just sneak behind the legendary and check out the inventory. And this is actually very cool. Well, actually, this is pretty crappy. I mean, the item in question. But it is cool because if you invest in pickpocket, then you can just, grab the item and be on your way. Now, if you really want to make the most out of the super mutant camps, then I suggest you approach the area from that direction to the north, which is Diamond City. And you continue on this street until you hit this point. And before you go anywhere east in that direction, you want to go west to the bridge. Now on the bridge you're gonna find some enemies, and you can just deal with them whichever way you feel right. But what's important are the 2 sleeping bags on the bridge right next to the bus, because then once you drop a save, then you can start reloading from here. Wait a minute, where am I going? Wrong way. But I hear a vertebrate which is not supposed to be here. The Brotherhood of Steel is not supposed to be here so early. Okay, that's why am I in danger? You know what? I don't think this is the Brotherhood of Steel. No, I think this is the gunners in the vertebrate. I've only had this encounter once at the Overland Station. Yeah, they were coming from the river, guns blazing. And you know what? Yeah, that's a gunner. Haha. You know what? I have just the right thing for you. Hey, Mr. Fat Man. Alright, perfect. Here we go. Ooh. Boom. Alright. So yeah, this is so weird. And you know what? This is actually saved in my sleeping bag. But see, once you have that save, then you can just reload and go back. What? Wait a minute, where did you come from? What's going on here? Huh. Alright. Well, that was bizarre. Anyways, from that save, you can just, make the most out of the super mutant camps, and then just start doing your rounds with the repeatable spawn points, which are the main focus for these videos. See, this freezing minigun, that was actually farmed out of a legendary super mutant that was at the camp south of the radio station. And this green skin fathermocker actually chased me down the street. You can see it's just right here. And I think there's another one still out there looking for me. Anyways, I really enjoyed making this video. I actually learned new things that I'm gonna incorporate in the future videos that I'm working on. And well, it was really fun. So I really hope you enjoyed the videos, and if you did and found it useful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel, because, well, it would help me a lot, and there's more videos in the works. But until then, this has been Surviving Fallout 4. Stay tuned and stay safe in the Commonwealth. Goodbye.